Hey y'all, this is Ming. Thank you for tuning in to Lazy Money Circle. Today we're talking about 3 tips when creating your LLC. A LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. It's a type of business entity that's registered to your state. So there's 3 ways that you can create your LLC. The first way is to get an attorney. You can get an attorney in your area so that they can figure out what the local laws are for your particular LLC in your business. The second way is to go online and find a website like LegalZoom or any other website like that, or VA, to do your LLC. The third way is to do it yourself, and today that's what we're going to be talking about. It's so easy. It's only 3 parts. Tip number 1. So the first part is to go to irs.gov to get your free EIN number. So an EIN is a 9-digit code. It's similar to a social security number. However, it's for your business. So it's a business ID that the IRS gives. So don't pay for this, guys. This is absolutely free at irs.gov. Make sure you save the letter for your records, the letter that they give you. You can get it immediately online once you register. And you want to check that your name is not being used, the business name that you decide. You want to check online just to make sure that your name is not already being used by another business. Tip number 2 is to register and file your LLC with the state. In Pennsylvania, it costs $125, so check with your state to see what the cost is. In Pennsylvania, you can also go to hub.business.pa.gov. After your LLC is registered by the state, then you're able to move to the next step. The next step is developing an operating agreement. So an operating agreement is filled with so much stuff, whether you're a single member LLC or a multiple member LLC. Either way, you want to make it specific to your own business and your own self. For instance, we'll talk about 8 things that need to be decided upon before you create a business, especially with a partner. So if you have a partner, these are 8 D's that I want to talk about that determine the health of your business. And these are things that you want to put inside of your operating agreement. Number 1, the first D is death. What will happen in an event that you or your partner die? You need to iron all of that out with the specifics of what is the plan for your business if one of you die. The second one is disagreement. What will happen if you guys have a disagreement? No matter how many members you have, whether it's just one or multiple ones, what will happen if you have a disagreement? You should spell all of that out in the operating agreement as well. The third D is divorce. What will happen if you get divorced or your partners get divorced? We want to know exactly how the business will still go on and still thrive even in those situations. The fourth D is disability. Make sure that you spell out every single thing that will happen if you or your partner become disabled. How will the business go on? What will the responsibilities look like if one of you guys are disabled? So the 5th D is disinterest. Sometimes we develop business partners with people and, time goes past and they become disinterested in the business. What happens then? Do you dissolve it with the state? Do you dissolve the whole LLC? Or do you just move forward and just dissolve that particular partner and keep going with the business? But that's a big thing that needs to be decided before you start this business and before the operating agreement is finalized. You need to make sure that you would write down what exactly will happen if one of you guys get disinterested. The 6th D is drugs. What will happen if you or your partner became addicted to drugs? Drugs meaning recreational drugs or drugs that's prescribed by the doctor. Either way, it could affect the performance of the business, whether people become addicted and they start stealing money or they're just not performing well in the business. You just need to know what will happen in that event. And let's talk about other addictions as well, like gambling. Suppose your partner has a gambling habit and it affects your business partnership and your business profits and all of that stuff. So you want to iron out on paper, in this operating agreement, what will happen in that instance. The 7th D is debt. Businesses sometimes incur debt. However, it could be good debt or it could be bad debt, but it needs to be decided upon between you guys, right? Between you and your one partner or you and your multiple partners. So you have to decide before you even start this business, what is your business plan? What do you plan on using the debt for? Do you want debt at all in your business? You might not. You might just want to use your profits and keep rolling over that money to build the business opposed to using debt. So you have to decide that before you have this partnership. The eighth D, the last D, is decline. What will happen if your business declines? Suppose you don't get any more customers. Suppose you don't get any more profits. Anything can happen that makes the business decline. All of those 7 things above that we talked about. So, could make your business decline in some way. So what will happen? So I want all of you guys to write down those 8 Ds. Go back and replay this. Get your pen and paper, write down these 8 Ds before you finish your operating agreement. These should be spelled out, especially if you have a partner. If you're a single member LLC, obviously some of these things won't even apply to you, but some may. So you'd want to get out a piece of paper and pen and write these things down. This is another tip if you have partners in your LLC. You want to make sure that you determine who is going to deal with tax matters, meaning at the end of the year or on a quarterly basis, who of all of your partners are going to be the one to report to the IRS. Are you going to do it like half and half? Are you going to do it individually? But whatever that may look like with you and your CPA, just make sure you determine that in the beginning before you start the business with your partners. Another tip when making your LLC is you want to save it to the cloud, but you want to save it as a bundle once you did all of these 3 parts. The first part we talked about was getting your EIN letter from the IRS. The second part we talked about was getting your state letter, whatever state you're in. You want to make sure you have that saved as well. And the third piece is the operating agreement. So obviously it's easy. We know we have to save it. However, save it as a bundle in the cloud so that way when you're applying for bank loans or credit cards or whoever might ask for it in the future, like people like funding sources, like a grant writer or something like that, people might need not a grant writer, but a grant funder might need your information, and so you want to just be able to have it easily accessible for them and send them the whole package. So after you got all of these 3 parts organized and ready, now you want to take that bundle that I talked about, those 3 parts, and you want to take it to the bank and you want to open up a business bank account. Some people don't do this right away, but you want to start getting your business up and running, writing checks from your bank, directly from your business, and not commingling. Never ever use your personal bank account again after you develop this LLC and develop your business. You want to start making everything streamlined and all the money coming from your LLC. Now, of course, at first it might be zero money that you have in your LLC. However, you can make a loan from your personal self to your LLC, but that's a different topic. But for now, I just want you to go take those 3 parts to the bank and open up a business bank account and never ever commingle your funds again. After you have your business bank account, I want you to apply for a credit card. If your business is the kind of business that wants to take on some debt, you could get a credit card for emergencies or for things that you might need in your business, like office supplies or things like that. And a credit card will be useful for your business expenses. And you would get the credit card in your business name. Business credit cards don't report to your personal credit. So that's good when you want to build your personal credit and you don't want to commingle and sacrifice or compromise your personal credit score. Another tip is make sure you apply for any permits or licenses in your area or in your state to make sure you're compliant in your industry. That could mean like a renter's license or a permit from the city of some sort, but make sure you're in compliance with city and state regulations.